Hi guys, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 18, and I will be so relieved when this challenge will be finally over. I mean, I could end it easily, but I don't want to. I really want to finish it. And that's why I'm still filming at 2 a.m. because I'm crazy. I kind of want to do it for myself and I want to do it for you. And today we want to talk about why I draw manga nowadays. Because as you probably know, manga and overall comic have a bad stigma at some art schools. So yeah, let's just talk about why I still draw manga and why I still enjoy it so much. And yeah, let's begin with how it even started. So let me tell you why I fell in love with manga. So as I remember, when I was a child, I had this friend, and this friend got like everything I wanted in my childhood. So she, for example, also got these anime magazines which were like for children, and there were pictures from Digimon and Pikachu and Pokemon overall, and everything I loved at this time. So I kind of already was watching anime, but like, for example, I think Digimon and Pokemon still looked very cartoonish for me because they never had like these really colorful enormous eyes like other anime do. So she gave me these magazines, I brought them to my home and I looked through them, and at some point I saw this illustration. Maybe not this exactly, but I saw an illustration of Phantom Thief Jeanne and I fell in love with her because she had like these really big purple eyes and I thought that she looked so beautiful. So I started to draw her. I took this magazine and put my pencils out and put my paper out and drew her. I mean, I traced her. Not really tracing, but I copied her, let's say. I copied her. So I copied her, and that's probably like the first anime manga drawing I remember, which I did. And I guess that was kind of my start into, yeah, this world in which I am now. So I started to draw manga, and in 2009, I uploaded my first anime drawing online. There was like this really old mangaka.de page, like a German manga artist page, which doesn't exist anymore. And there I uploaded my first scan of one of my biggest drawings I did back then, and it was actually this drawing of myself with my duckling plushies, and it was very colorful, and I asked my dad if he could help me to scan it, and he did it, and he uploaded it with me. And at this time I was, let me think how old I was in 2009. I guess I was 13, if I'm right. But doing that gave me like the biggest motivation kick, because I started to receive comments about my art, not just from, you know, school friends, but from random people on the internet. And that was like really amazing for me, and one of my first experiences with the internet. That's when I started to draw like really regularly, because I was kind of hoping to get a lot of comments and get a lot of compliments and so on. Of course, people also gave me a lot of feedback and critique, but that was fine for me. Of course, I had some times where I was like, okay, why is he saying that? But I mean, nowadays I know, of course, that they just wanted to help me, whatever. So I started to upload my drawings, and I drew even more and more and more, and I got even more comments, and then kind of Facebook started at some point, and I created my Facebook account, and then I kind of got into the German artist scene, let's say. And then I created my first like anime fan page, let's say, and I posted a lot of memes before they would even be called memes, so yeah. But then at some point I also started, let's say, my own Facebook page for just my art, and then I really became one part of the German art scene back then. I traded so many cards with so many people, and it was so much fun, and I kind of still miss the times, because like ATC cards, artist trading cards, were like so popular back then. And yeah, I really miss these kind of conversations we had and the joy of trading with each other, and I don't know, it was just a lot of fun, and that was something I looked forward every day. At some point I got to art school. It was like not a big fancy mancy one, but I got to art school and started to learn how to draw properly, like shading and stuff, and how to draw realism and stuff, and I was never bad at it. I also got like my really great grades in it. But whenever I started to draw manga, for example, there were some tasks which were like, okay, you can draw whatever you want. And whenever I started to draw manga, my teacher started to tell me, no, that's bad, like don't do it, manga is bad for you, stay with whatever realism, and manga, you won't be successful with manga, and so on, all this crap you probably know. And then I was of course a bit unsure what to do, because I was like, why should I stop something which I really enjoy and adore, and have like already my friends who also draw this shit, and of course kind of experimented a lot, like you saw in this video probably. That's like a very old sketchbook of mine, not my oldest, that's like the second which I showed you on my channel. But I started to experiment with other styles and stuff, but I don't know, I never had like the same amount of joy like when I drew manga. So I went through the 2-3 years of art school. It was a really nice time, and I also still drew manga back then, but I was avoiding to draw it like for school tasks and so on. At the end of each year we had like a practical exam which we had to draw for, and at the very last year we had like a voluntary task practice for, you know, this practical exam, and the topic was like something with mirrors, and I guess there was a quote, but it was something about mirrors, I don't remember what, but you know. But since it was voluntary, I decided to draw manga, because I was like, I want to have a good time, so I'm gonna draw what I want, and that's what I did. And then of course my teacher went through all the tables and looked into all the pieces of paper, and then when he got to my piece I was already finished, like I was already done before anyone else, because I had so much fun. But he looked at my drawing and he was like, oh, that's actually such a great idea. I kind of just drew a girl who had like manga-ish features, not like I draw nowadays, but like a bit more of a nose, not like just a dot, and a bit tinier eyes, but it was like a bit manga-ish. So he looked at it and was like, oh, the idea is really great, but since it is manga, I would give you a Versa grade. And I was like, which what? I really could see that he liked my idea. He was like really fascinated, but just the fact that I drew manga, or it kind of looked like manga. Maybe I'll find a picture and put it here, but just the fact that it looks like manga. But he said if it would be a real exam, he would give me a worse grade, and I was really pissed because I was like, yeah, let's do it for fun. And this reaction actually proved again that, you know, it was the right thing to pretend that I like to draw other things. So, do you know what I mean? Not showing myself or my interests, let's say, is better than showing what I actually like or what I actually enjoy. And this made me really sad in some way. Of course, I finished art school. I still think it was a really good experience. I really learned a lot. Got to know some really nice people. But when I look back, in my heart, I still kind of, yeah, appreciate the time I had there. So everything is fine. But I hope you can kind of understand how I felt. So whatever. At the end of art school, I started to attend to conventions as an artist, as exhibitor, and I can luckily say that it was a really amazing start in a new world, because that's just something very, very different when people actually stand in front of you and say things like, oh damn, I really like your art, or something like, oh, your style is so cool, or you know, all these really lovely compliments and stuff. Or when there are people or children, let's say there are children, and they look up to you and are like, look, it's so pretty and pink and glittering and sparkly and so on. And that's why I'm really kind of a bit depressed this year, because I feel really lonely, because I also don't live in a bigger city and can't attend to conventions because of Corona and so on. You know the deal. That's something I really, really, really miss this year. And in 2017, I guess, yeah, I attended to my first convention and had all these experiences, and it was so nice. And that's when I really started to work on like little art books, and started to take part to collecting events and so on. Kind of now we're already here. It's already 2020 and I still attend to conventions, and I love it, though it's so much work to drive like through whole Germany and drive to Düsseldorf, which is like 500 kilometers away, and drive to Munich, which is like 200 kilometers away, and drive to Berlin, which is like also really far away. But that's what I love. I really love, of course, conventions overall, but I also love like seeing different cities. I really love big cities. I mean, it would be probably the other way around when I would live in a bigger city, but you always want something you don't have. That's like with my hair. I have curly hair, but I want straight hair. It's all the time the same. Yeah, that's where I am now. I try to make bigger projects than just some teeny tiny illustrations which I print out in DIN A4 letter size and DIN A3 double letter size and stuff. At some point I already did my first acrylic charms and did my first whatever. I don't have so many things which are not paper merch, but I really want to, for example, I really want to create t-shirts, because I'm such a big fan of t-shirts with like, oh, really cool tees. I also really like this moth pin. Yes. So I really like t-shirts with geeky anime-ish tees with these illustrations. So at some point I really want to do that. And of course I really want to create a very thick and beautiful and colorful, because all my art books so far have been like black and white, and I don't know, I really want to create a colorful one. So that's like a project which I want to tackle. And of course I also want, I'm already talking about papery like merch again, but I also want to create a mini manga again, but like not just like this teeny tiny one which I did some months ago, which only has like 20 pages, which is very small. But I really want to make a little teeny tiny story, like a teeny tiny doujinshi, maybe also a ecchi hentai one, who knows. But yeah, I have so many things which I want to try and do, and I'm really glad that I have so many people who appreciate what I do and support me. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon. So after art school I worked for about 1 year, like in a mini job, and it was kind of the best time in my life, I would say, because I was working like just 2 times in a week, and the rest of the time I would just draw and prepare stuff for conventions and prepare stuff for my online shop and so on. But I felt just so fulfilled with it. I wasn't making like a ton of money, but it was enough for me to pay the rent and so on. And I could buy my beloved printer and my beloved scanner. And I also paid my beloved tablet for myself, which was like really expensive back then. So I'm kind of really proud that I could you know, buy the things from the money I earned myself, which kind of still sounds crazy in my ears. That's the money I got from the work I do, from my drawings, from going to conventions, and that's something which makes me really proud. And after that year I started my design study. I'm studying design at the moment in Nuremberg, which is like with the train 2 hours away, but it's okay because I love it. I really love it. I enjoy studying design so much. I'm learning so many things, oh my god. I'm trying not to choose like the easiest courses because I really want to learn something. So it's sometimes a really big pain in the ass, but yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I really wanted to learn something new. So I started to take a photography course. I took a user experience course, which was also really cool. Now I'm currently in a typography course, which is also, I don't know, I love learning things, so I'm enjoying it a lot. But that way it's of course kind of hard to focus just on one thing. But I guess my thing is to draw manga, and all of the other influences are like just extra bits which I can add to my overall knowledge of drawing and designing and stuff. And yeah, that's who I am today, and that's why I draw manga nowadays still. It's just something which fulfills me so much and makes me so happy. And yeah, that's it for today. I'm kind of impressed how motivated and entertaining I guess I was at 2 o'clock. Now it's 2:30. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and if you want to support me, check out my Patreon. I also have an online shop, but it's not open yet because I really want to enjoy holiday season. And yeah, I guess let's see us tomorrow if I won't die from cutting too many videos this month. But yeah, leave a comment and like, that would make me really happy. And let's see us tomorrow. Bye guys. Bye. Bye.